Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Simplified, and today we are going to discuss about a new topic in Selenium, which is XPath and how we can find the XPath on the web page. So before moving forward, let us first understand what is XPath and how we can work with it. So the definition is XPath can be used to navigate through elements and attribute in XML document. Okay, and then XPath stands for XML path language. Basically, whenever we are working with the Selenium or writing the test scripts, then we need to locate the elements on the web page. So basically, XPath provides us the location of that particular element on the web page. Okay, and then there are basically two types of XPath we are having, absolute XPath and relative XPath. We will be seeing how we can find the absolute XPath and relative XPath. Then there are some methods which are used to create XPath, okay, like contains text, and then starts with, then or and there are multiple more methods, but basically these are used to create a XPath. Okay, so first of all, let us understand what is the meaning of absolute XPath and relative XPath. Okay, so basically absolute XPath is it contains the complete path from root element to the desired element. So if you see, let me show you on the web page only. So I am on this Chrome and Facebook login page. Now I need to open the developers tool. So for the developers tool, you can just simply right click anywhere on the web page, and there is this inspect here, so you can click on it. Okay, this will open the developers tool, or you can simply just click F12 to opens the developer tool. Okay, so if I move to the element, then if you see, then there are there is this particular script present in here, and then there is this HTML tag, then there is head tag, then body, then in the body we are having div, script, link, and then multiple things. So basically absolute XPath is, let's say you want to find one XPath on this particular web page, then you need to start with this HTML, then go inside this tree one by one, like you need to go from parent to child, and you need to create the XPath. Okay, and then second one is the relative XPath. This is more like starting simply by referencing the element you want to grow from a particular location. So let's say I want to go to this particular input box, the email address box. So simply I can create a relative XPath and simply move to it. So I'll show you how we can create the relative XPath, but the basic difference is, like absolute starts from the root element, and then it goes level by level till the element is found, and relative XPath like directly locates that particular XPath on the web page. We do not need to go one by one through the tree. Okay, this DOM, okay, document object model. Okay, so this is the difference between this absolute and relative XPath. Okay, now let us see what are these methods and how we can create the XPath through it. So if I move to this, then this is the inspector in here. You can just simply click on it and it will inspect the multiple elements on this particular web page. If you go in here, then it is locating the Facebook logo, then there is an input box also. So it is an input tag and it is locating this particular element. Okay, now first of all, let me show you how we can use the contains method. So for that, let me show you the syntax. What is the basic syntax of XPath we are using? So first of all, we need to give two double slash in here, then there will be the tag name. Okay, and then after tag name there will be attribute. We have to put this at the rate notation in here, then attribute, and then equals to its value. Okay, so let us create one XPath using this expression. So this is, we are creating a relative XPath in here. Whenever we use the double slash, as I was saying, that absolute XPath starts from the root element. So if you start from HTML, then go to head, then go to body, then if you start from HTML, then you move to body, then you move to this div, and then inside it each and every child you are traversing. Okay, but in the relative XPath it's not the case. We just simply put the double slash in here, and double slash basically used to jump between the multiple elements. Let me show you. So we need to find the XPath of this email field. So basically this is the input tag. Okay, so let me create the XPath for it, then double slash, then we are having the input tag, and after it let's say we need to provide this name attribute in here, then we need to add this at the rate, then name attribute as we are considering this time, then the value of this name is email. So you can simply provide the single quote and then email in it, okay, and then close that bracket. So this is the XPath, basically this is the relative XPath of this email field. Let me show you on the web page. So you can just simply click Control F. This will open this particular small input box in here, and you can just put your XPath in here and see the XPath we have created using our syntax. It is locating in here, okay, and this is a relative XPath because it is directly locating this input tag. We are not coming through the HTML tag and then traversing this particular DOM each and every element, okay. So this is the basic relative XPath. Okay, now let us go with these methods one by one. So first one is contains, okay. So let's say we are having some text. Let's say this is the forgotten password text. So what we can do, we can use this contains to let the XPath know that if it contains some element or some text. Let me show you how we can create it. So I'm on this forgotten password. Then let me create a XPath for it. So I can simply put this double slash in here, and then if you like, if it is known that the element the tag name is known to you, then you can simply put the as we are working with this anchor tag, so I'm putting the A in here, or you can also use the star. So star means basically like each and every tag name we are considering, like whatever the tag name will be, okay. And then let me first show you with the start, and we can use the contains, okay, contains. Then in contains we can provide the text. It's a text method. I'll show you how we can use, but for now let us consider it. So there is this forgotten, we need to put in here and then close this particular bracket. So if you see, we have just simply provided this double slash star, okay, and if I provide the A in here also, because we know the tag name right now. So and then there is this contains text. We just simply providing that it is containing this particular text. So let's say in your web application, whenever we want to locate some element, we can create the XPath this way. Like in future, if it will change, let's say it is saying this time forgotten password, or in the future time you change this particular text to forgot your password or something else, then you can simply provide the text in here, let's say forgot, and this forgot will not change in this case, and it will be a dynamic XPath, we can say. So this is the first method we are using. So let me paste it in here. So this is the example of contains, okay. And then let us move to our second method, which is text. So basically, as we have also considered this particular text in here, so it is just simply saying that text equals to forgot. So let me show you, let me remove this contains from here, and then let me give the anchor tag, then locate this particular forgot password. So in it we can simply write this text, and in the text we can provide this particular forgotten password question mark, and then if we locate the element, then see whenever we will use this text in here, text method in this particular XPath, then we need to provide the entire text, otherwise it will not locate the element. Let me remove this question mark from here. So see, it is not working, but after adding the question mark, it is the entire text of this particular anchor tag. So this is our second method, which is text, and we have done our text part also. Now let me show you the starts with. So starts with is also a very important method in this particular XPath whenever we are working with some XPath. So let me show you the start with. Let us take this input field right now, and then we can say that we are working with double slash input. We are working with this input, and after providing the input, we need to locate to this, and let's say I need to do starts with, Okay, then start with, and in the start with, okay, so this is the starts with. Now we need to provide the attributes in here. So let me say name, and name will be the name of this particular box is email. So if we try to locate this particular element, I have done the equals to here, let me put the comma. So if you see, it is locating this particular element which is starting with the email. But let me show you more clearly what we can do in here. So this time we are using the name, but starts with says that whatever attribute you have provided in here, we just need to consider the value which is the starting, and we can say that this particular locator is starting with this particular value. So let me take the placeholder for now. So placeholder will be more clear for this start with. I've taken this placeholder, and if I provide like the placeholder is email address or phone number. Okay, so I can take this simple email. Okay, and then if I provide in here, then see like we haven't provided the entire value of this placeholder, but we simply given the email, and it is finding the element in here. So this is the beauty of this starts with, that whatever value it is starting with, it will locate. So this is our starts with. Then our next method is or, and then and. So let me show you or with this example only. So we are saying that placeholder starts with this particular email, and let me say or like it will be the condition that like let me show you. So or we have provided, or let's say we are giving this at the rate name, or at the rate name equals to email. So as you can see, it is locating this particular element in here because we have provided the or condition. So in or condition, like whatever conditions we are writing in this particular XPath, so there are two conditions. First one is start with the placeholder email, and then second one is the name equals to email. Like whenever one condition will satisfy, it will locate the element. So let me provide some random name in here. Let me provide the test. So you can see like placeholder is not test here, but this condition is satisfying. Since it is or, so it is just simply making it true because this particular condition is false, but our name value is email, so it is locating the element in here. So this is the or method. Okay, and then at last there is and also. So let me do and. So see when I've done the or, then it located the element, but on providing the and, it is not locating the element. Okay, so let us do one more thing. Let me take class for now. So let me provide class in here, then its class is this one. Okay, and if I provide or, like it is and we are saying that start with the class is this particular class value, and the name equals to email. So since we are having these both conditions satisfy for this particular locator only, that class is this and email is this, so it is locating the single element only. But if I do or in here, then let us see how much element it will locate. So it is locating two elements. First one is the email input box, and then second one is the password box, because if we see, then class of these both the elements are same. So class is this input text 55r1 underscore 61 UI. So for both of these input, it is the same class. But if we provide the and, then it is simply locating this name in here. Okay, so this is our and method, and will locate a single element whenever these both conditions will satisfy. Okay, so these are the basic methods we can use in our daily life whenever we are working with the Selenium to write the test scripts to create some XPath. Okay, and then there are multiple methods, like there are more methods which can be used, like parent to locate to the parent or some other things, but these are the basic methods we are using. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. And if you guys are having any question related to the XPath and how we can find the XPath, then you can mention it in our comment section. So for now, thank you.